Brianna Wiest, The Life That's Waiting. Free yourself from negative thoughts and find your way. At the age of 19, Brianna Wiest had a quiet wish for someone to hand her a kind of field guide to being human or encyclopedia of feelings. It wasn't a manual full of grand answers that she yearned for, but something that could walk alongside her through the messy, unspoken parts of life. Years passed. She lived through the questions she needed answers to. Slowly, the pieces started to come together as experiences she could finally name. The Life That's Waiting became a way for Wiest to sweep the dust from her own house, her personal sorting out. After years of seeking, finding, and stitching the pieces together, her aim is both modest and practical, to offer a North Star to guide you when you're at a crossroads. But in her words, I don't know anything. She wants you to treat her words as her personal song, not a rulebook. Take what helps, leave what doesn't, and let the rest wait until you need it. If a passage clears a bit of dust in your own house, accept the ease and move forward. In this blink, you'll encounter 8 of 28 passages about life's situations. Listen or read the passages that resonate with you now and leave the rest for when they're needed. Not able to feel happy? The answer is in small, repeatable acts. What exactly is it that's holding you back from being happy, even when everything else seems fine? What is this thing called happiness, anyway? Does it feel like a string of emotional highs to you? Or some kind of reward for having your life in order? Those ideas are common. Happiness means your capacity to act, to be present, and to live with openness. It shows up in the shape of your days, especially in small, repeated, meaningful acts. If you find that happiness doesn't come easily, it may be because part of you is used to something else. If you've lived in stress or uncertainty, or always managed other people's needs, then calm may feel unfamiliar because the old patterns feel safer. Your system pulls you toward what it knows, not necessarily what helps. Peak feelings pass for everyone. Strength grows where you're stretched. So stop chasing those peak moments. Begin with simple, concrete acts. Rest or find quiet. Nourish yourself well. Clean a surface. Send a message or answer one email, and say what you feel. Test and learn. Treat each result as feedback and keep going. When a familiar emotional pattern flares, pause. Don't project it onto others. Stay with discomfort long enough to make a different choice. Repeat these acts until they become quiet rituals. Find gratitude in caring for what you already have, even in small chores. Build rhythm, presence, and daily practice. No breakthrough required. Meaning steadies your choices and holds your story together. It grows in the routines you follow each day. Happiness is what you build there. Feeling heartbroken? Make space to feel, then shape a life that fits you. When your heart breaks, it can feel like your whole world is ending. But this pain is part of being alive and of loving deeply. It hurts so much because something once full of meaning has been torn away. That grief, shock, and numbness are normal. Let yourself feel them. Cry, write, speak, move. Let yourself express what you feel so that it can move through you. Once the chaos settles, you'll find space to begin again. In that space, you get to choose how to see what's happened. This can be just a loss, or it can be a turning point. What if the breakup wasn't a punishment, but a redirection? Maybe it ended not because you're unworthy, but because the path ahead holds something better aligned to who you're becoming. To make room for that future, start by building a life that fits you on your own terms. Focus not on what was, but on what could be. Instead of holding on to what might have been, Turn your attention toward a life that lights you up. Make a short list of the quiet reliefs and red flags you've been tolerating. Let that clarity steady you. That way, the absence won't get filled by a ghost of the past. Return to yourself. Get clear on what you want and need. Know what right looks like before seeking someone to share it with. You are your own constant, your everyday companion and decision maker, and you'll carry this growth forward. The hardest truths are often the kindest. Good things don't fall apart. When love ends, it's often because it couldn't grow with you. In time, you'll meet someone who sees you fully, who fits your future, not your past. When that day comes, the version of you that grew through this will be ready to say yes. Does what felt right now feel wrong? Choose what keeps you growing. When something once felt so right but now feels all wrong, it can shake your sense of direction. You may have thought you found your answer, the person, the place, the path meant just for you. But what you really found was a sense of certainty, a space where the unknown felt contained and creativity felt safe to begin. Losing that can feel like a collapse. You question your instincts, your past choices, and even your future. But the truth is, life isn't built around one perfect fit. Different phases call for different people, places, and possibilities. What's right for you is whatever you can keep growing with until that growth no longer aligns. When paths no longer match, letting go can be an act of love. That doesn't make the past a mistake. What felt wrong was simply a path without any further mutual growth. It means the experience met you at the level you were ready for. It helped shape the person you've become. It was the next step, even if not the final one. Treat the ending as a completion point. More of you is ready to leap than to stay. So if things feel unclear now, trust that seeing differently means you've grown. Focus on who you're becoming with each choice. Ask what further decisions this choice could open and who you'll become by staying with it through the hard patches. And if you're brave enough to keep showing up, life will keep meeting you right where you are, because life is within you. Stuck in a world of comparison? Stop and build your own life. When you keep comparing yourself to others and it's draining your confidence or making you feel like you're falling behind, the strain shows how far you feel from your authentic self. Comparison can feel like a quick source of motivation or validation, but it always turns. Eventually, someone seems farther ahead, and the sense of stability you were clinging to falls away. The game was never real, but the damage it causes is. You rely on comparison most when your own life doesn't feel full. When you're immersed in what matters to you, there's no urge to measure it through someone else's eyes. You want to feel settled in yourself. You want to love and be loved, to live with purpose, to fall asleep knowing you showed up with honesty and integrity. That requires facing what's unsettled within you, not covering it up with the image of how others might see you. So face what feels unfinished. Stop performing for some imagined approval. Choose what's meaningful to you, even if others don't get it. Keep going and keep seeking. Build what you want rather than trying to find it. Put your own house in order and admit when you were wrong. Surround yourself with people, objects, and ideas that reflect who you're becoming. And when your life starts to feel like your own, the urge to compare will fade, because there's nothing left for you to prove. Unsure what you want? Start small. Do you ever feel like you have no idea what you want? It's a common feeling. When you feel like that, start small. The clearest indicators often start as a quiet yes, a nudge to try something, call someone, move somewhere, or make a piece of work. Treat that early pull as a seed. If certainty feels far away, look for tiny proofs already in your day. The cup you always choose, a place that steadies you, a person whose company lifts you, the image in your social feed that makes you smile. Wanting is your internal compass. When it feels faint, reconnect through these simple cues. Real wants don't shout. They appear as soft nudges. We distort them when we try to rationalize or justify something that doesn't really feel right. If you've been trying to convince yourself to want something that you actually don't, you're probably overriding your inner guidance system. You don't need to act on all of your wants immediately. Recognize that knowing and doing are different. Sometimes you need to gather energy, information, or clarity before taking a step. Let yourself rest, recalibrate, and observe. These steps are part of the process. What inspires you often matches wants you already admit to, whereas what stings can point to wants you haven't named yet. Start by putting the feeling on now. Take one step today that fits the state you seek, maybe beauty, steadiness, love, or success. Shift from wanting to having. Practice a small version of your larger aim. Humble, consistent doing trims false wants and builds momentum. Remember that wanting is legitimate and helps you develop confidence. Confidence grows from pursuing, becoming, and embodying your wants. Often, the obstacle isn't the want. It's the belief that you're not worthy of it. Some seasons are for not knowing. They supply inputs and perspective that set up the next devoted chapter. Manage the barriers that steal your attention and let humility lead. Demonstrate readiness by doing, even on a small scale. Each day, ask how you can use what you already have to create 1 inch of what you want. As the days stack up, you'll shift from rehearsing want to practicing having. Feeling alone? Make space to become the real you. When you feel alone and can't explain why, see this season of your life as a passage. Life may be keeping you from settling where you don't belong. If you feel stuck, quiet, or unworthy, take those signals seriously. They may be nudging you to move, to listen inward, or to choose a path that's larger than what you once imagined possible. This is your chance to see yourself more clearly. Give yourself credit for how far you've already come. You deserve a second chance. Offer yourself the kind of kindness you'd give someone else. Learn to enjoy your own company, especially in the moments you used to fill with noise or other people. Meet the moment you're in at the pace it asks. Some days call for the bare minimum. Others ask for a leap. Let each hour be enough. These quiet times matter more than they appear. In a world that demands constant updates, use the space to become who you want to be. Then practice being that person. The performances people admire are built in private. So is growth. Let feelings be felt. Don't over-explain or dissect them. Simply feel and release. The intensity passes, and the light returns after the storm. Many moments are for rest, clearing, and choosing again. In time, you'll see what this season has prepared for you. Unsure of your purpose? Begin with the smallest yes. What exactly is purpose, anyway? Well, one thing it isn't is some single grand mission that arrives fully formed. It's more like a bell ringing quietly in the background, asking for a volunteer. Purpose shows up as specific requests you are equipped to answer. Supporting someone, caring for a place, creating something, singing a song. When you say yes, the real work begins. Start with what's happening within you. When something hits you hard, resentment, fear, frustration, stop and name it. Then ask, what belief sits under this? Is it true? That's where you begin. Small internal shifts come before anything you build outside. Before any outward work, your job is to steady yourself. Your life is the first place your purpose shows up. What you master in private will become what others admire in public. The way you do small things teaches you how to handle the big ones. You can't skip that part. Leading others starts with learning yourself. Change your own life with care and intention. But remember that purpose isn't about building a shinier version of yourself to meet the world's standards. It's about becoming the version of you that sees clearly, lives truthfully, and responds with truth. The call won't always sound heroic. The entry points are quiet. But when more people say yes, by creating, caring, expressing, and connecting, the world transforms. Need to be free of fear? Take one small step. When fear stops you in your tracks, it usually means you're stepping towards something uncertain, a change, a decision, or a possibility that matters to you. We've all been taught to treat fear as a reason to stop, but often it's just showing us where the next step is. If you let fear decide for you, you end up avoiding the things you want most. Fear feeds on your attention. The more you dwell on it, the stronger it feels. When you stop engaging it, even if your nerves still fire, it starts to weaken. Step back, take a breath, and withdraw your attention from the fear. Then focus on one small action you can take now. You've already proved you can do this. Think of past worries that once consumed you, but don't even cross your mind now. You moved through them by staying in motion. That's the key. Small, everyday actions. A walk, a task, a tiny win. Reconnect you with real life and restart your momentum. Routines help because they remove resistance. They give you a rhythm where action comes more easily, and you begin to crave the feeling of flow again. Openings keep arriving. Fear is just the familiar door. Practice choosing a different one. You don't always need to push through fear. Sometimes you find another way around it, and often the hardest things are the one you're meant to face and figure out. That's how your own growth becomes a path others can follow. So start now, exactly where you are, and keep going. The main takeaway of this Blink to the Life That's Waiting by Brianna Wiest is that change becomes livable when you shrink it to the small, honest actions taken every day. Happiness is built by rest, care, tidying, and speaking plainly. Simple, repeated, meaningful acts. When heartbreak, fear, or comparison flare, feel them and choose your next step. Keep what keeps you growing and release what no longer does. Purpose arrives as quiet invitations. Start with the smallest yes. Name what you want and practice a modest version now. Build rhythms that steady you. Find meaning in tending what you already have, and let seasons of aloneness become passages rather than verdicts. These choices form self-trust and a life that fits you. You don't need a breakthrough to begin. Just inch forward. Keep going. Life will meet you there. Okay, that's it for this Blink. We hope you enjoyed it. If you can, please take the time to leave us a rating. We always appreciate your feedback. See you in the next Blink.